Hi, I'm Kim, and today I'm talking about my family book club that I started 3 years ago. It consists of myself, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin. We just have a group chat that we use to make the suggestions and to write up our reviews of the books that we've read. It's pretty simple. There's not a whole lot to it other than that. We don't really have any rules like you have to read the book or it has to be a certain genre. We just take turns picking books that we are all going to read for the month. We have taken a few months off depending on what's going on in our lives. Being that it's only four of us and we're family, we can do that. We can be pretty flexible, or maybe we're both waiting for the only copy at the library and it's just taking a lot longer that month. But I know, like, let's see, it's July 28th right now, and I already finished August's book. I'm pretty sure my cousin finished it too so that she could pass it on to her mom, and my mom said she's 3/4 of the way done with it. So some months are definitely faster than others because we all read July's book pretty quickly, so we weren't waiting to post our reviews. But like I said, it's very informal and very flexible with when we write our reviews, when we finish, and by the time whoever's turn it is to make the next suggestion, we get around to posting our suggestions. So I think what I would like to do is just show you the books that I've picked, that each person has picked, so you could just get a sense of our personality maybe a little bit through our book selection. These are the 8 that I chose. Of course, I choose one every 4 months, and then after me, it's my aunt's turn, then my mom, and then my cousin. The inaugural book club pick that I chose that looked good in the summer of 2022 was Run Rose Run, and unfortunately, I don't think any of us were crazy about it. I love Auntie Dolly, as we call her in our family, because she has the Imagination Library and sends free books to anyone who signs up where they have the program. To children birth to 5 years, we participate in that. And anyway, Auntie Dolly, she's amazing. She co-wrote it with James Paterson, but it just kind of got a little wild towards the end. Personal Librarian. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys that a few stats out of here, right? I did not finish, out of these 32 books, 3 of them, including Personal Librarian, the one I picked. I don't know. I liked how it started off, and then whatever. Sometimes that happens. So I actually didn't finish one of the books that I picked, but I'd be open to picking it back up. Let's see, what else did I pick? Who is Ma Dixon? I really liked that. I think that's kind of one of the only other thrillers that we've had. Maybe Run Rose Run, I guess, is a thriller. Saturday Night at the Lakeside Supper Club. We're all from Minnesota. Originally, we live in 3 different states now, so I always like our connection back there. I picked Every Drake Starts Over. Usually not my cup of tea to have a rom-com-y book. It was kind of a rom-com. I do like Linda Holmes, listening to her from NPR, and for some reason I thought that she narrated the book herself, but she did not. She's just the author of it. And Things We Lost to the Water, I think, is probably my favorite book. It ties one of my favorite books out of the entire book club. It probably ties for one that my aunt picked, which I'm sure you guys have read as well. A Girl Called Samson. I hoped that I would like it a lot more, but it's based on a true story, which I also didn't know going into it. A true woman. And from what I gather, the part that talks about her as a person, like, was great. And how she was a part of the Revolutionary War. And then, like, it just went off into a whole sappy romance part at the second half of the book that did not happen. So I didn't really like that one. And Husbands and Lovers, which is good. It was like historical fiction. Okay, so my aunt chose Molokai. I had already read it. Lessons in Chemistry. I'd also already read that. The Only Woman in the Room is by Marie Benedict, the same author as Personal Librarian. So I think we had two that year, if not back to back, by the same author. Mad Honey. I tried this book on audio twice. I had it on audio and listened to a good chunk of it. It was due back. And then a few months passed and I tried it again and I got maybe halfway through it and I couldn't do it. So I knew my cousin had read it and I asked her before my aunt chose it as a book club book. I had asked her to tell me, like, okay, what's the ending? Because I remember when she was reading it, she's like, oh, okay, the ending, like, makes it worth why you're invested in this story, if you guys have read Mad Honey. And so I did not read it for book club. The Women, probably my favorite book that I read for book club. Kristin Hannah just knows how to write, okay? She does. And it's a good story. Whether or not, I think her name was Frankie, right? Whether or not her character is 100% likable or every decision made is whatever, it moved the story along. And from this, the first chapter, the second chapter, you're in the story. The second chapter basically to the end, even into part 2, which it changes dramatically from part 1 to part 2. But if you want a good book, I binged read that book in like 4 days, and it's a 500-page book. So that, probably because I read it so fast and enjoyed what I was reading, is my favorite book from this book club. Persian Pickle Club, not my favorite. Cute book club book, if you're looking for one. Somewhere Sisters. I would have to say that this story is a great story. It's like kind of autobiographical of these like real living girls and their adoption story and journey. I think it didn't really work as a book. I feel like it would do good as a documentary. So, but it's a very fascinating story. Read about them. The Narrowboat Summer. It just wasn't for me, but it doesn't mean that it's not for you. I also want to share that as a book club and as a family, we did go on a little book club retreat, family girls weekend. I kind of organized it, I guess. I just was really wanting, a visit with everyone. And I thought, what better than go to New Orleans with with the girls, and we did that last October. And it was so fun. It was like 3 days. My mom and aunt flew down, and of course my cousin flew up from where she lives, and I live in Alabama. I drove over to New Orleans. It was like a 5-hour drive, and man, we had fun. We went to a book club. We rode a streetcar. We went on the ferry to Algiers. We ate at a lot of delicious restaurants, and we went to Noma, New Orleans Museum of Art. We got rained on in the French Quarter. It was a perfect New Orleans trip, and I'm so happy that we got to do it. So, yeah, if you have a small book club group, or even if you're not small, maybe you can do something like that. I just think that, whether or not you find a book club that is from a library or a bookstore or your neighborhood, whatever encourages you to read and share with other people, do it, go for it. I just found that this really works for us as a family. Like, you don't need 10 people, If you have a couple family members or friends, it can be really informal. So, anywho, my mom, these are the books that she picked. The Last Thing He Told Me. I think they made it into a Hulu show. Maybe. I don't even know. It was like, I think it started off strong, and then I don't even remember. Oh yeah, they were like hopping all over looking for this person. And anyway, The Sweet Spot was fun. It was a cute little New York City setting book. The Secret Book of Flora Lee. She is an Alabama author, and I know she just had a new one came out this spring, and I wanted to like it more than I did, I think, but it just kind of dragged on. But it was a very interesting setting. Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. I did really like it. It took me a couple goes to finish reading that one. But obviously, very good writing. Pineapple Street, probably my favorite that my mom did pick. Again, it was set in New York City, and just like, I don't know, this upper crust family, like old money family, that it's kind of a different maybe insight to this life in New York City that maybe you don't always happen upon. Okay, so Lucky is the only book I've given 1-star rating to on Goodreads, because if I hate a book, I will not finish it. But because it was, and I won't rate a book if I don't finish it, but yeah, I don't even think, I know my cousin didn't finish it, and I think my mom had to struggle through it, and I don't know, it was not good at all. So you can avoid that one. Be Ready When the Luck Happens, Ina Garten. We all loved it. Memoir. How can, I don't know, it's hard to judge somebody's personal life, right? But she definitely is a celebrity, and they just have different opportunities than we do. And The Stationery Shop was the last one that she picked. That was last month, and we all read it really quick, and it was a good book club pick, if you ask me. I had checked it out from the library at some point, and then returned it before I even read one page, I think. And I had wanted to read it as a personal pick. And so that's the beauty of book club, is sometimes you get to read books you wouldn't otherwise choose yourself. Okay, my cousin. Overall, I think I have enjoyed her picks probably the most. But, you know, there's obviously some, it's not a competition, and there's some that I've liked from my aunt. Like, my favorite one was from my aunt. So it's just, you know, it's not a competition. We're all just choosing books that we want to read and share with each other. So, The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell is so, like, it's incredible and extraordinary. It reminds me of Forrest Gump, like all the different things and ways that this guy touched through his life and through history. Yeah, he goes on a journey. The Kitchen Front is a World War II historical fiction book set in England that gives you just a different perspective of the war that you might not have thought about before. So that one was good. Oh, Beautiful. I'd already read that as a personal pick before it was a book club pick, and I liked it. The Berry Pickers, that one I know was really popular last year, and I think it still is. And I think she might have just picked it like right when it came out, maybe, because I hadn't heard of it when we read it, and it's a good book club pick. It's a good setting, again, of something I wouldn't have normally thought about. The indigenous berry pickers of Maine and Canada. I think it takes place in Canada. The Shop on Royal Street was a pick to get us probably in the mood for New Orleans. Last summer we read it, and there's better books out there, but you know, it was fun. Yeah. Did I listen to that on audio? I don't remember. Maybe I did. Yeah, that's fun. Sipsworth is a very cute story, and it's British, and sometimes British books can be a little dry in translation for me, but it's very short and sweet, so it was a good book club pick. News of the World, maybe, yeah. I mean, I think I wrote in my review it should be required reading. Maybe one of my favorite books that she picked. I had already seen the movie before she picked it, and so I listened to the audio on this one, and I think I was crying. It's great, you know. It can be kind of long and dry, but it's sad. It's moving. I liked it. And the last one that she picked that is actually for next month, but I finished it, is My Friends by Frederick Bachman. And it's okay. I'm an outlier. I know a lot of people love it, and yeah, it's a very popular read right now, and man, it's got a lot of people loving it. I didn't really feel that way, but I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I'm a pretty generous rater. I feel like it takes a lot for me to like really dislike a book, and it just did not click with me. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be for you. And maybe you'll like it, and maybe you want to suggest any of these books for your book club, or if you aren't a part of one, start your own. So that's about all I have on 3 years of my family book club. Thanks for watching.